markets seem to be taking a little bit of a dipperoonie, and a lot of people are not pleased about it. However, it looks like Michael Saylor may have warned us all along. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that. We're going to cover price action. We also have some really bullish news for altcoins. So I don't know why people are so upset about the short-term price action. But again, I understand because it has to do with money. It has to do with emotions. It has to do with all the things. And again, this bull market, super cycle, whatever it is you want to call it, it's so much different than anything we've ever seen just because it's taking so long to come to fruition. And again, a big part of that is partially from meme coins because people, have put a lot of capital and a lot of money into those. Again, that's a non-issue. If you're patient, good things are going to come. I'm going to make a second video for you guys, but I'm not sure exactly what topic it is because I feel like there's a particular topic I need to discuss about, trying to help you figure out what are quality altcoins, what are utility coins, what these means, and why you should be paying attention to these instead of some of the newer crypto projects, because some of the newer ones, it's a complete hot mess. But anyways, welcome back to the O Show, everything crypto every single day. I'm WendyO. Thank you to TikTok for being with me. Good morning to my YouTube babes. I appreciate you guys so much. Good morning to Mr. Dale, to John Legend, to Mr. R, to Alpha Junkies, to Mr. D, Mr. Lawrence in the house, and who else? All of you wonderful people, thank you for supporting. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, set alerts. And yes, I am back from Pebble Beach. Got to go. I got to go to Monterey Car Week. I didn't go to the actual event, but Faraday Future, the car company, well, they're not only an automobile company, they're also a tech company because they focus a lot on AI. They're going to be creating they're a NASDAQ listed company, and they're going to be creating their own crypto treasury, mostly Bitcoin. But at the same time, I got to help them announce with them, and it was a really cool experience. So I got to go and whatnot. Shout out to Stephen Young for the $1.99 super chat. Wendy Bear, I'm not a bear, man. I'm bull long term. You guys just need to keep up, man. You need to keep up. But it was beautiful. I definitely would love to be I would love to be able to get a home. Not necessarily in Pebble Beach, but on the Central Coast. That's something I've always wanted to do. If you've been with me on the channel, you guys know about how I feel about this. But anyways, let's go and get into the news because there's actually a lot to cover. I'm still a little bit tired. I also have travel this week. I got to go to Canada to film a documentary, which I'm so blessed and grateful to be able to do. So there's that. But let's go ahead and talk about what's going on with Michael Saylor, okay? So this account over here says, is Saylor giving us a warning? He said last time he tweeted this exact phrase, Bitcoin went on to enter a downtrend and dropped almost 30%. This is the thing. A lot of people are going to speculate about price and figure out, look for all these different signals or whatever. And, we do lots of clickbait on the channel too. I'm not worried about it, okay? I'm not worried about it. If Bitcoin drops 50%, 30%, I'm not worried about it. If it drops 10%, I don't care. 50%, don't care. 80%, I don't care. I don't care. Why? Because number's going to go back up. Okay. The amount of money that's flooding into the markets, especially with Bitcoin from traditional financial entities, is absolutely insane. And with that being said, the amount, and again, this is just my opinion, the price of Bitcoin will continue to go up. Yeah, we're going to have volatility, we're going to have dumps, etc., but it's going to continue to go up. And I feel like once we hit 1 million Bitcoin, things are going to change quite a bit. So anyways, that's what's going on. Thank you so much, Lawrence. I appreciate it. You're absolutely wonderful. I appreciate for the $10 super chat. Eric says every live stream decides not to work. Nice. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. All right, let's go ahead and get in the news. So that's what's going on. But everyone's going to speculate and blah, 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 blah about crypto. It's not even a Michael Saylor thing. It's actually not even anything. It's just what the market's going to do. So this is what the market's currently looking like right now. Super cute, right? Earlier today, we did break down below 115,000. Not really that big of a deal. I mean, look at this. Look at this beautiful price action. Oh, YouTube got problems right now? That's unfortunate. Well, you can watch me on Rumble or TikTok. No video. Hold on a second. Hold on. Can you guys see me? Can everybody else see me? Or is it just a YouTube thing? Hold on. Mark says no video. Let me check. See what's going on. Okay. All right, you guys can see me. Just want to make sure. Okay. So this is what we're seeing happen in the market. Earlier today, we saw Bitcoin dip down to about $114,000. It broke down below the trend line, and now we're back up, barely holding on with a thread. It does look like a little bit more negative price action. When we do zoom out and we look at our levels over here that we've drawn and we've kind of been focusing on, it does look like we do have the opportunity to potentially retest $111,000. Is that going to happen? We don't necessarily know yet. It's really going to depend on where we close today. All right. And again, just because Michael or Saylor says something doesn't mean anything at all. People like to get get their panties in a bunch about that. But realistically, we're still waiting on a lot of tariff announcements. We're waiting on for the Fed to lower rates, all these types of things. So things will get interesting. Ethereum is suffering a little bit. And if Bitcoin hits that $111,000 area, Ethereum will go to back to $4,000. If anything, the people that are cheering on Ethereum to like go to zero and stuff like that, you guys are going to get wrecked. Okay, because Ethereum is kind of what brings in altcoin season. So I've seen a little bit of that on crypto Twitter, but everybody's just a hot mess. Yeah, I guess YouTube's not working great, so we'll get through this show fast. But make sure to come back around 6 p.m. PT because I drop a second, the third media piece I do for the day. It's a YouTube short and it's all the top news. Okay. All right, so Solana is at 185, getting ready to break down. Sui 365, not a really big deal. XRP. Did break down below the trend line, but it actually popped back up a lot harder and at a lot better price point than we saw some of the other cryptos. We do need XRP to get back above 13.12, but just as long as we are above this little trend line here. Taking a look at Chainlink is kind of not knowing what to do. Is it going to dump? Is it going to pump, etc.? Taking a look at Cardano had a really, really nice run up. Like this is beautiful price action. Even though we're not trading above 95 cents right now, it's wonderful. And we hit about $1 last week. Taking a look at HBAR, HBAR's doing its thing within range, so I'm not really too terribly concerned about it. But alts aren't looking the best. But let's go ahead and finish covering the news because they're all our bullish things lined up. So this Ripple story over here, XRP Ledger used by Nasdaq listed pharma distributor to power payment system for pharmacies. The distributor is rolling out an XRP power system for 6,500 pharmacies to speed up payments, cut costs, and expand blockchain use in healthcare finance. I worked in a pharmacy before. I worked in healthcare. I've been around. Okay, I think this is absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I like to see crypto in being used in the real world. Love it. Basically, it's going to enable for instant settlement for pharmacy purchases, cutting bank delays, card fees. Pharmacies can now join beta version of the system. Logistics will also use XRP as a treasury reserve asset, which we love. Logistics stocks is currently down 80% since IPO. I don't know when the IPO was, so I can't really comment on that too much. I do think that this is going to be interesting to see how logistics ends up playing out, primarily because it's a Bitcoin treasury company, it's a crypto treasury company, and they're actually going to be integrating into the tech. So I love that, gamer. I know I need to go back there. I know the viewers are down right now because we're having problems with YouTube, but it's okay. We're going to get through it. We got this. Next, Gemini. Gemini wants to IPO. But they had a really nasty balance sheet financial report that they dropped. Okay. So they officially filed for NASDAQ IPO under the ticker GEMI. Public S1 filing follows a confidential filing in June. No timeline, share count, or price disclosed. Gemini did secure a $75 million credit line from Ripple ahead of the planned IPO. That's crazy. Credit line can increase to $150 million based on performance metrics, and the loan will be dominated in USD or RLUSD. So basically, Gemini is a crypto exchange. A lot of people like it. What ended up happening is they released one of their financial reports, and crypto Twitter actually tore it apart. They're like, oh my God, you guys spent so much on marketing. They never gave me any marketing money. But I don't use Gemini anymore. I use Kraken. Nothing bad against them. I just don't use them. But I think it's cool that they got a loan from Ripple. This kind of shows Ripple's asserting its dominance. Brad Garlinghouse said, bam! Asserted dominance. Next, crypto investment products see $3.75 billion in weekly inflows, led by Ethereum. We have a bullish story about Ethereum and a bearish story about Ethereum. Let's talk about it. So BlackRock, they're talking about the spot ETFs. They're basically saying how much of these ETFs brought in a lot of money. $3.75 billion in weekly inflows. Okay. ETH funds led with a record $2.87 billion. That was 77% of total inflows. Bitcoin products saw $552 million. So we're talking about billions versus millions. And the rest are Solana products, XRP products, Ton, Litecoin. that type of stuff. So Ethereum is hitting highs over here. There's also a little bit of FUD going around on X as well. Ethereum unstaking queue hits a record of 3.8 billion within a 15-day wait, led by Lido, ETHFI, and Coinbase. So basically, this means that people are unstaking their Ethereum, and people are saying that this is going to continue to cause the Ethereum to dump. But basically, the unstaking queue is a wait list for validators exiting the Ethereum network, limiting how quickly staked the Ethereum can be withdrawn. So this is all the data that we have over here. It hit a record of 3.8 billion within a 15-day wait, but that's okay. And I'm not really concerned about that. The reason why I'm not if it is a UK, Mixing will be able to tell us because he's got access to all the stuff. So he's out there. What's up with Crow? Nothing's up with Crow. Crow's doing just fine. They're chilling. I might be doing a giveaway for crypto.com too. So stick around for that, but it's going to be on X. Also, that being said, we don't know what these people are going to do with their Ethereum. We don't know if they're going to be selling it. We don't know if they're going to be restaking. We don't know what they're going to do yet. So we're just going to kind of have to wait for the market to react. And again, I don't want to cause FUD with Ethereum because I'm a bag holder. I want it to pump. But at the same time, it might be a big nothing that's happening. So we'll see. Again, I'm holding my Ethereum strong in $10,000 Ethereum minimal. Grayscale seeks nod from US SEC for Dogecoin ETF under the ticker GDOG. That's a cool term. That's a cool name for an ETF. Okay. And if this ends up passing, if we get a Dogecoin spot ETF, we may see a high chance of seeing $1 Ethereum. $1 Dogecoin. Okay. So basically, in a registration statement filed on Friday, Grayscale said it was renaming the Grayscale Dogecoin Trust to Grayscale Dogecoin Trust ETF. And basically, they are, if anybody's going to get it done, it's going to be get done through Grayscale, because Grayscale was the first one to get the spot ETFs done with Ethereum and Bitcoin. Okay. For all of you that are bullish on Helium Mobile, they just announced 3 months of free mobile service with unlimited calls, texts, and 10G data for Solana mobile Seeker holders in the US. Because remember, the Solana mobile Seeker phone officially came out. And one of the things I will say about Solana that I really, really, really love is I love the fact that Solana was the only Solana made the only crypto phone that people are actually using, that actually worked. There were so many in the past. So many crypto phones were created by different crypto companies and they all failed. Solana's did not. So there's a lesson here. And they are affiliated with Helium. So if you guys are, I think Cali Crypto, it's like his favorite project. But again, if this is something that makes sense for you, I highly recommend to check it out. I also have a pimple here too. Now we've got some crypto.com and VeChain news. VeChain Foundation selects crypto.com for secure institutional custody and liquidity. Ooh, interesting choice. Most people do BitGo. So they partner with crypto.com, and support includes VET and VETHO, VeChain store native tokens, and crypto.com will also provide OTC trading services for VeChain assets. And the partnership aims to meet for demand for secure, compliant, and scalable infrastructure. Before we segue into the next story, I want to talk to you about something, okay? VeChain is one, okay, because you know how I talk a lot about pay attention to projects that are going to get a US spot ETF. VeChain, I don't think there's anyone that's filed on behalf of them yet, and they're not made in America, but VeChain is one of those projects that is kind of an outlier for me, primarily because they're actually doing, like, They're VBetter platforms, how you can like build any types of dApps for sustainability. Actually, really cool stuff. Okay. Really, really, really cool stuff. So I normally I want to really focus on like a lot of the stuff that's going to be ETFs made in America. VeChain is an outlier for me. Definitely an outlier for me. Just because they're doing so many cool things. And that segues into my next story over here that we got to talk about. And I might make a second media piece on this. I haven't decided yet, but this has gone viral all over CryptoX. So this guy, Jason Zhao, and I hope I said things properly, he built Story Protocol 3.5 years ago, and he's stepping down. So basically, he was a co-founder and the head. Story allows for IP to be programmable and monetized on chain. He will remain involved as a strategic advisor. Plans to launch a new AI project called Poseidon and wants to apply AI to frontier industries like science, robotics, biopharma, and space. He described the current AI momentum as a potential new industrial revolution. I agree with him there. But why are we seeing all these crypto founders step down? We see this all the time. I don't even know what they're listed on CoinMarketCap. Let's go ahead and take a quick look because I'm curious to see what they are, what number they are in CoinMarketCap. But again, it caused a lot of FUD this weekend. Everybody was like pissed off and mad about it. But this is the thing, you guys, founders are going to founder. And if you think that, and these are all, like all of these guys, Story IP, is this it? Hold on a second. Hold on, let me see. Is this the same guy? Hold on, I'm trying to figure out if I think this is the same one, but I just want to double check. This is the thing. All these guys come from traditional finance and they enter and they exit companies all the time. This is just kind of what they do. So why are people putting so much faith in this stuff? You know? So I don't know. A lot of people are like freaking out and stuff about it. So this is it on CoinMarketCap over here. It's an IP project. He's stepping down and he wants to build something else. So I don't know. It's ranked number 55, which is interesting. Good for them. But let's talk about this kind of a little bit. Let's talk about the ethos here, ethics wise. Technically, and crypto Twitter is a little bit unique when it comes to we act a little bit differently. Okay. So my thing about this is, should the founder be able to is it an issue that the founder stepped down and is doing something else? No, he doesn't have any loyalty to anybody but himself. Crypto has this weird ideology where we form this cult-like mentality where we feel like you have to only own one crypto project. You can't diversify your portfolio. Interoperability in some cases is not a good thing. Crypto companies don't like that. But if a founder steps down, people are like up in arms, which at the end of the day, I get it. I understand why they might be up in arms, but they do this in traditional finance, or they do this in tech startups all the time, where people hop from company to company to company. Heck, think of it this way. And again, I'm not condoning what he's doing. I'm just trying to give a different perspective. Think of it this way. I know that this current generation in the workforce, everybody's like at a job, maybe like 1 to 2 years, and they leave and they go somewhere else to make more money. And we don't shame people for that. So should we shame founders in crypto for doing this? I'm curious on your guys' thoughts. So I don't know. They're still ranked number 55. We'll have to see what they do. I'm not invested in this. I don't really care what they do, but it is what it is. But anyways, with that being said, C hit 1 million daily active addresses again. Would love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Sui, daily active addresses hit a 3-month high, which is good. That means people are using the network. Google searches for Avalanche hit a yearly all-time high. And this was on Saturday that this was posted. And this is from the gentleman from Cointelegraph. In addition to that, Google searches for crypto reach a yearly all-time high. This was yesterday, Saturday. So we are starting to see more interest be brought to crypto, focusing on crypto. And that's good. Also, the crypto fear and greed index sits at 60, down from 70 last week. So all of these little signs that we're seeing, these are all bullish long term. So this is and I'm also going to say something to you. My analytics on Facebook and Instagram are crazy. We're getting about 7 million views every 28 days. With that being said, I took a look at the age demographics. It's between like 30 to 55. So these are all the people that actually have money to invest in whatever it is they want. Some of them might be getting inheritance from their families, as their parents get older and pass away. So I think it's really, really interesting that we're starting to see this big interest and this big shift into crypto, even with the Google searches, and people are still bearish. So just wanted to point that out over there. Ethereum, altcoins, stablecoins, and tokenized stocks drove July's crypto gains, Binance says. So this is a story from Binance. Let's read it out. It was not an Ethereum story. I thought it was. But basically, the crypto market cap rose 13% in July and was led by alts. ETH surged 48%. Corporate ETH holdings up 128%. Stablecoin transfers hit 2.1 trillion, surpassing Visa volume again. Tokenized stock market jumped 220%, led by Tesla. Bitcoin's dominance dropped below 60%. Over 90,000 active addresses for tokenized stocks, up from 1.6 1,600. NFT sales are up 50%. And Binance sees tokenization stablecoins as key growth drivers. They say regulatory clarity and macro tailwinds could boost adoption. So there's that. Also, the Canary CEO predicts Bitcoin will hit $150,000 this year. But Ethereum surge won't last. And I agree with him here. I do agree with him. I think that Bitcoin will continue to go higher. But I don't know what the Ethereum's future is. And that's why at this time I'm going to be selling like about 90% of my Ethereum once we hit my goals, if we hit my targets. But Bitcoin is going to be one of those assets I have no problem holding for a long period, like for the rest of my life, because I could take out debt against it. But I don't know about Ethereum. And again, that's not a bad thing. The whole, like a lot of the crypto DeFi system and financial system is kind of built on Ethereum. So we'll see how that works. But again, the more layer ones companies are creating for stable coins, that is a little bit bearish for Ethereum, unless they're using part of their technology. So we'll see. We'll see how it ends up playing out. But, we like to talk about these stories, okay? Also, Bitcoin is still only 0.2% of global assets. Gold is 2.2%. Real estate is 37%. I do believe we are still early. Also, Bank of America survey reveals big money keeps dodging crypto. 97% of institutional fund managers report zero crypto exposure, averaging allocation among holders just 3.2%. This is a stupid story. This is stupid. Why is this stupid? Well, institutional investors in all these different companies, if they own a share of MicroStrategy or BlackRock, and they have if you own a share, if you're invested in a company that has investments in Bitcoin or crypto, you're still touching it, but you're not touching it, That's why when we were talking about, like BlackRock was a big share, but they were a shareholder of MicroStrategy for quite some time. And everybody was like freaking out. Oh, BlackRock, this is when BlackRock did not like Bitcoin and crypto. But at the end of the day, why would they be a shareholder in MicroStrategy if they weren't bullish on crypto? So they are. So that report's kind of skewed a little bit. I do believe in black swan events. We're not there yet, though. U.S. Treasury weighs digital ID verification in DeFi to tackle illicit finance. This is not good. Treasury is considering embedding digital identity checks into DeFi smart contracts as part of its Genius Act consultation on crypto compliance tools. This is where privacy is going to get a little bit sticky over here. Little bit sticky. Ideas include using government IDs, biometric or portable credentials to enable KYC and AML directly into smart contracts. The goal is to automate compliance, lower costs, and improve detection of money laundering, T-financing, and sanctions evasion. Public comments open until October 17th. This is where things are going to get a little bit messy here when it comes to crypto, okay? Of course, Saylor is going to use retail as exit liquidity. Who doesn't use retail as exit liquidity? So when we're talking about putting IDs on the blockchain, that's where things get really, really sticky and a little bit scary. Primarily because privacy does matter. Privacy matters. So how do we keep people's identifications private? But and I think the current system we have is fine. I think it's fine because if somebody's doing something bad, you can go back and you can find somebody doing something illicit on the blockchain, track them eventually. So I don't know. I feel, and again, I told you guys, I don't like the Genius Act. I never did, but I know it's a necessary evil for crypto. That's why it says make as much money as legally and ethically possible right now. Next over here, the S&P, Dow Jones in talks to bring tokenized indexes to exchanges, DeFi. Let's see what's really going on over here. Basically, they want to track performance of major segments of global financial markets, and tokenized index are seen as complementary to traditional products, expected to play a key role in 2030 global markets. Well, what does this mean? This basically means that crypto is not going anywhere. Everything is going to be tokenized, and they will be using a specific blockchain for that. Now, will they create will they create their own blockchains, or will they use a blockchain that's already out there? Or will they be taking, we don't really know what's going to happen. But realistically, at the end of the day, everything is going to be tokenized. It's important to pay attention to projects who have partnerships with a lot of these traditional financial entities. XRP. So there's that. But anyways, I got to get going because I'm tired still from traveling. I got to travel again. I got a lot of work to catch up on. I got to drink my chicken bone broth. And sending you guys love and light. I'm going to drop a video at 2 p.m. PT. Go watch that. It's like a 2 to 3 minute video, just kind of about one topic, just to get you guys some good news. Also at 6 p.m. PT every day, I do a short. This short is basically every single crypto topic for the day. 2 minutes. Get into it. Sending you guys love and light. I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.